My dearest Cassandra, you must certainly be surprised to receive this letter, as you and I have both been dead for quite some time. It seems I have been transported into the body of a strange-looking plump woman who seems to be drowning in books. While her large library must suggest some greatness of mind, I do strongly question her choice in hairstyles. I spent the morning examining her bookshelves and found an entire shelf full of books that I wrote, along with a few copies of Jane Eyre. I also found books that seem to have been inspired by mine. I'm not entirely certain, but I think this must mean that I am owed some money. My dearest Cassandra, how you must laugh at me and wonder at my sanity. I quite wonder at it myself. I speak aloud these words as I write, and my voice is not my own. I wonder, am I really dead? Or am I dreaming? Perhaps this all has just been some strange dream. Let us hope for that plotline, as I do not desire to remain in this century. Yours affectionately, your loving sister, Jane. Well, hey there. The weirdest thing happened, you guys. I went to film the intro for my Jane Austen shelf tour, and apparently I had already filmed it, but it wasn't me. I don't know. Anyway, here is the Jane Austen shelf tour as has been requested by one of my viewers. We're starting off on the top of the shelf here. We have an art print. The Etsy shop where you can find this, it's a Pride and Prejudice print, is Nathan Erica, I think. I'll link it in the space below. I'll find it. Then we have a mug with Jane on there, and it's got quotes from different things that she's written, different books, essays, etc. And here we have two Jane Austen dolls. The cloth doll was one that I picked up in Kentucky when I was there for the Jane Austen National Annual Conference, or the AGN as it's called. It was in Louisville, Kentucky in 2019, I think, 18 or 19. Whatever it was, I went there. And of course we also have a Jane Austen Funko Pop right there. Okay, moving on down to this shelf. And I'm sorry about the lighting. It's just how the lighting is in this room. I can't seem to get anything to work better. I have the books that Jane Austen actually wrote here. I've got 2 copies of Persuasion, Sense and Sensibility, Mansfield Park, Love and Friendship, Sanditon, Northanger Abbey, Emma, Pride and Prejudice. And then we get into some of like the Jane Austen spin-offs like Austenland, Lost in Austen, a Jane Austen devotional, Bridget Jones' Diary, which is a Pride and Prejudice thing. We have our Jane Austen deck of playing cards. I picked that up recently. We've got a series by Victoria Connolly that's really cute about Jane Austen fans. Undressing Mr. Darcy, which is another one about Jane Austen fans. I've got this book, Novel Destinations, the light blue in there. This is about different places you can travel inspired by books in classic literature. And then we come to the Jane Eyre portion of the shelf. We have a book called Jane, which is inspired by Jane Eyre, and then I have 4 copies of Jane Eyre. I'm a little bit obsessed with that one. Here we have a short shelf, and we have this little book called What Would Jane Do? This was given to me by my mom. And then behind that we've got some more Jane Austen inspired spin-offs, as well as Jane Eyre. We have Mr. Rochester, which of course is a Jane Eyre spin-off, and then we've got some other Jane Austen spin-offs here. Oops, sorry, I'm wonky cameraing. There's also a Jane Austen biography, that darker red title you can see there with her name in white. A student of mine gave me that book. Here I have an Eleanor and Edward candle, of course inspired by Sense and Sensibility, and a mug with a great quote from Pride and Prejudice: I declare after all there is no enjoyment like reading. Then down to the bottom shelf we have a Jane Austen craft book, a fashion book, it's like a coloring book, that little skinny one, Longbourn, which is a Pride and Prejudice retelling, Jane Austen the complete novel, so that's a bind up of all of her major 6 books, the Jane Austen Book Club, which is an awesome book, also a pretty darn good movie. More Jane Austen spin-offs. Amanda Grange is one of my favorite authors from that area. Shannon Hale, that's where Austenland is. I think I said it was on the upper shelf, sorry. And another one that I recently just loved is Persuade Me by Juliet Archer. That's that closest one to the pillow there. And last item is this super cute pillow. I think this is another thing I got in Kentucky, although I can't remember. Maybe I got that somewhere else. Anyway, it's really cute and I love it.